In this video, I'll introduce the new Beas Analytical Insights, a set of dashboards for Beas manufacturing using the Boyum app dashboards functionality.
The quality control dashboard represents a complete analysis over all the items that were inspected in quality control and the different types of inspections that were performed. On the items, we can see the number of inspections and the amount of rejections, resulting in a calculated rejection rate for each one of them. And on the inspections, we can see how much times we performed that inspection and how much times it failed, also calculating a rejection rate per inspection. Here we again have all the interactivity possibilities. If we want to know, for example, why this finished steel piece have been rejected, we just click on here and we'll see all the tests that we have done on it, how much we have failed, and the rejection rate corresponding to each one of them. In the same way, if we have a test that we have a big rejection rate and we want to understand what are all the products for which I'm doing the same inspection and that are failing, I can just click here and see. So I see that on product appearance, the only item that is failing is this one. On pH, only the chlorine gas is failing. On active ingredient concentrations, again, only the chlorine gas have failed. But if I have more products, I will also see all of them here on the items overview list. On the right side, we also have a chart that will show the top 10 reasons for getting rejections in quality control. And here we can also click on the bars to update the details on the whole dashboard. After analyzing the rejections, we can also have some analysis over the deviations in quality control. This is a very useful analysis because if you want to have more standardized products, especially if you work with Six Sigma practices, you need to reduce the deviations as much as possible. And here, even if you don't have rejections, you can see how much you are deviating over your average measured values on quality control. So you'll see first an analytical list of all the products that were inspected, the type of inspections, the average measured values, and the deviations registered for each one of the inspections. And here, a calculated percentage of representation of the standard deviation in relation to the average measured values. So you can actually know in which types of inspections you are having more or less deviations, which results on the chart that we see here on the right that will present the top 10 reasons for having more deviations in quality control analysis. Here you can also click on one desired type of inspection to see which products are having the most deviations in that analysis. Now, we have also something that is very useful here on the bottom of the chart, that is a control chart. This is based on the control chart that is used on the Six Sigma process that we'll have here, a control line calculated based on the global average for all the measurements of this specific analysis, and calculating the standard deviations for the different types of inspections, the different standard deviation ranges up to the upper control level and down to the lower control level. We basically have +3 deviations up and -3 deviations down. This will tell you the safe ranges that you can have for not going too far from your control line. And in the moment you see that you are going too far, then this can also be an alert for the quality control persons to know that something might be going wrong with that kind of inspection. Here I am analyzing humidity, and I can see that in this particular month, I have a very high deviation over my baseline. So this can possibly tell me that I had something bad here on this month. And as you can see, we also have a gray area around the different inspected values for each one of the months. The blue line that you see here is the average on that particular month. And the gray area is the tolerance. So in this case of humidity, I had variable tolerances across the months because I am having different products that I am inspecting with different specifications, and this is why my tolerance varies. But if I have one that is fixed, for example, the temperature, I have the temperature starting with a low tolerance, but then here it is fixed after some time. I can see how I am also performing in relation to the tolerance. And for example, if I see here on this month, the value that I inspected was below my allowed tolerance. It was in the minimum deviation range, but below what I consider as valid for the temperature in quality control. This can mean that I had in this month a rejection in quality control related to a temperature inspection. And if I minimize this, I can see that effectively I have this chlorine gas that was rejected because of deviation in temperature in that month. The quality control can also be accessed by the web with all the possibilities as well as we have inside SAP Business One. We can click on the items to see their rejections. We can see the control charts from the web as well, and even add this control chart as a panel on the quality control department for them to see how is the performance for the different types of inspections. So if I want to know for pH, I can just click here and see the control chart for pH. If I want to know active ingredient concentration, I can also see it here, and so on. For the quality control dashboard, we also have some pre-built filters. We can see, for example, data from this year and from the last year, also from this quarter and last quarter, this month and last month, and even define our custom filter for seeing the data in the quality control chart.